Hello, this is Python Pyro. Long time no see. Today, I'm going to write a bot that can replicate the gesture of an Austrian painter at Donald Trump's inauguration. Just kidding. The problem is that Pyrogram is no longer supported by its developers. Yes, at all. The news about this was posted on the official website. It's a shame because it was the best library for creating UserBots. There's another library that's just as functional, actively maintained, and regularly updated, Telethon. It's a powerful library for working with the Telegram API. With it, we can send messages, read chats, manage channels, and much more. Compared to Pyrogram, it has fewer simplified methods and sometimes confusing syntax. But over time, you can get used to it. I want to remind you that a UserBot is a regular user account where actions are automated using your code. If you use it recklessly for spam, you'll most likely get banned by Pavel Durov's gang, so take care of your account. To authorize your account through the code and use it as a bot, you first need to register your application in Telegram and get its API ID and API hash. The whole process is described in another video. I'll leave a link to it in the description. First, we import Telethon and the necessary modules. Telegram client is the main class for working with the API. The events module is used for handling events. For the simplest bot, this will be enough. In the first approach, we use a simpler authorization method. To do this, we create an instance of the Telegram client class and come up with a name for the session. One session equals one user account. You can create several sessions with different names and authorize different accounts. You can also specify not just the name, but also the file location. We also pass the API ID and API hash data, which I previously saved in variables of the same name in the config.py file, which I now import into the project. After that, we'll simply write the code to start the bot. The start method is used to initialize, authorize the client, and run until disconnected is used to launch and maintain the event loop. We'll also account for manual termination of the program via the keyboard using the keyboard interrupt exception. Let's run the bot. First, you need to enter the phone number of the user to use a user account, or the bot token if you're using a bot. A user account can do everything a real person can. Subscribe to channels and chats, and message open accounts first. A bot doesn't have this functionality. I'm using a user account. I enter the phone number it's registered to. In response, Telegram sends me a verification code to confirm that I'm trying to access my account. If you have two-factor authentication disabled, there won't be a next step. But since I have it enabled, I need to enter a password. At first glance, it may seem like nothing is happening and the password isn't being entered, but that's not true. Telethon uses the getPass module, which hides the password input. After entering the password, I press enter. After correctly entering the verification code and password, if there is one, your account is successfully authorized and Telethon will create a session. The session will be created in the folder you specified, and if only the name is specified, it will be created where the interpreter is launched. For example, in VS Code, this is the project root folder. In PyCharm, it's the folder where the Python file is located. To test the UserBot, I'll write the simplest event handler. To do this, I'll use a decorator with the client variable name and the on method, passing the new message event to it. Inside the function, I'll output the text of the received message. I'm running the bot. Now I send a message to this user account. In the console, we see the message text, meaning everything works correctly. There's an even simpler method for authorization, where you don't need to enter anything except the verification code. I'll make some changes to the code. I'll rename the session so the authorization process starts again. For simplified authentication, you can pass the phone number and password for two-factor authentication to the start method, which I'll do. Additionally, for variety, I'll make the UserBot reply to messages that arrive in the event handler. To do this, I'll use the reply method. I'm running the bot again. Now the code was sent immediately, without the need to manually enter the phone number. After entering the code, the authorization was completed immediately because the password was also provided. Now, I'll try sending a message to this account to make sure the program is working correctly. Perfect. The UserBot replied to the message, as expected. Thank you if you watched till the end. You can find all the code on GitHub. The link will be in the description. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and like this video. Your support means a lot to me.